Hey, Jodie. How's it going?
Andrea Barber.
It's been so long since I've seen you.
It's been all of, 3 days?
3 days.
3 days.
I don't like it. I don't like it when I go 3 days without talking to you.
I know. Well, it's been 3 days, but any news over the weekend? Anything exciting happen?
Well, we survived homecoming, so that's...
Yes,
HOCO.
we did. Yeah.
Yeah, we survived that. Like, the dress ended up being fine. The pictures are always like a headache and a nightmare, but we got great pictures too. So, yeah, I think everybody had a good time. So,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Same on our end.
None of the girls had dates either, even though Felicity's like, I'm the only one without a date. And I'm like, no, none of her friends had dates. So see, it was good girl time. That's how it should be.
Right.
At least
and that's the thing, right? About like middle school, high school, like everyone, no one, it's all a blanket statement. Everyone is doing this or no one is doing this. Right. And you're like, exactly, because that's totally realistic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that she had a good time. Zoe had a good time at hers.
Oh, good.
It was great. Everything was fun.
Yay.
B helped her get ready for it. It was a whole thing. My parent. I posted some pictures on my Instagram for it, and then my parents came up because yesterday, Sunday, the October 8th, was my dad's 89th birthday.
Oh, Sam. He's 89.
Sweeten.
Wow.
Turned 89.
Oh.
And let me tell you, he drove my parents up here. Like you know my dad.
Yeah.
Most people are like, your dad's 89? And
he doesn't look 89 at all.
No, he doesn't look 89. He doesn't act it sometimes. But no, I mean, he is on it. He is not frail. And but he's, still out there trimming trees on a 12-foot ladder occasionally.
Right.
So,
he's always busy. That's where you get your busyness from, because from watching him, he's always fixing something or building something.
He cannot sit still. Remember the girls' weekend that you, me, and Candace went on, and we went to Ojai Valley Inn.
Yeah, Ojai.
And I was trying to hook up the TV or something, and you guys kept saying, you were like, "Oh, here she goes. She's Samming again."
I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah, you're like, all right, Sam, can we go to dinner now?
The rest of us are relaxing.
I'm gonna figure this out, you guys.
I'm like, just relax. Put your feet up. Don't fix TVs. That's why we're paying a lot of money for this hotel. Let's call someone to come fix it.
I know, but I was like, I think I can figure out how to hook this up and how we can. Yeah, and then I didn't. So that was
that TV never got fixed.
My dad also wouldn't have been able to figure out the TV though. So that's to both of our credits. Technology is not our thing.
Oh, well, I'm glad he had a good birthday and he drove himself up. That's so cool. Aww.
It was great. So we got to see the kids and do a little family day. So it was nice. It was very nice.
Nice. Did you have cake or ice cream?
We did cupcakes. We did
nice.
cupcakes because my parents are trying to eat better and eat less sugar. Mm-hmm. And we have a Sweet Lady Jane by my house, which is one of my favorite cake places. Okay. And I always wind up getting an entire cake, and then we play hot potato with who is keeping the cake because everyone knows if it stays in their house, that's it. Yeah. It's being eaten.
Right. And, you can't resist that.
No, I cannot say no to cake. So anyway, we got cupcakes and tried to mitigate the guilt on the other end.
Good. Oh, good. Yeah. Love a cupcake. It's perfect amount of cake.
So great.
And frosting.
Perfect amount of cake. Great frosting.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Very happy. Most importantly, my dad was happy. We had cheeseburgers.
Oh, yay.
And that's all he want. My dad loves a good cheeseburger, and he said it was the best cheeseburger he'd ever had, even better than Carl's Jr., which is his favorite.
Oh, wow. That's
which is a very not exactly a high bar when fast food is your,
That's Sam. So that's Sam Sweeten. He's a simple man, He doesn't need a lot.
I also, my last meal would be a cheeseburger and fries and a cupcake. So I really, the Sweeten family lineage is just all about, meat, cheese, and cake, basically, is what
else is. Do you need, Who needs vegetables?
Some would say vegetables, but I really, that's why I drink my little green juice here so that I can actually get some sort of, vegetables into my system.
There you go. It's all about balance.
You're right. Yeah, balance. Just drink a cheeseburger with a green juice and it all works out in the end.
That's what, was it last episode where that's what Danny was telling Joey?
Right.
Just right. Moderation, don't hide the cheeseburger in the baby's crib. Just moderate,
I'm literally living a Full House episode. You had the lost turtle. I'm drinking the green juice.
Oh, your commitment,
and eating
man.
cheeseburgers.
your commitment to this podcast.
I'm Joey in this scenario.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I never realized just how applicable Full House is to real life.
Yeah.
But damn.
Yeah.
Here we are.
What else can we manifest? Like, what else? Like, we got
chicken
pox coming up. Like, I don't want to catch
thank
that.
God, I don't want to manifest that.
No,
no shingles. No, I'm good. Thank you. But this week we have half a love story.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah. A very Jessie heavy episode.
Very Jessie heavy. Yes.
Yeah. I got mixed feelings about
thoughts.
this one.
I have a lot of thoughts on this one.
I do too.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts.
I have a lot of thoughts too. Let's get into it.
Should we get into it?
Yeah. Okay. Let's start
Let's get into our thoughts, Andrea Barber.
All right. Well, welcome back to How Rude Tanneritos. I'm Andrea Barber.
And I am Jodie Sweeten, last I checked.
And today we're discussing season 1, episode 14, entitled Half a Love Story. It originally aired January 14th, 1988, and it goes a little something like this. Jessie uses baby Michelle to get a date with one of Danny's workers. But when a girlfriend of Jessie's tells the story of how she met Jessie with Michelle, Jessie's date is postponed indefinitely.
There's
a lot of dates.
It's just not good.
There's a lot of women.
There's a lot
of half-truths.
There's some manipulation, some lying.
Yeah.
Some, I feel like Jesse is he might have like a sort of a love addiction, like a love and relationship addiction issue.
Yeah.
You know,
he's always on the prowl for a woman. You know,
always on the prowl and like jumping head first is like this is it. I'm in love. Blah blah blah. Like after meeting them for 5 minutes, he may need to look at this and break it down a little bit, you know, because it's not necessarily healthy. But we'll get into that. We will get into it because this episode is
there's a lot
just
happening.
All of 80s mansplaining misogyny. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, this episode was directed by Howard Storm. We've seen him before, and
yes, we have.
It was
and we've seen him before in name, and I could not tell you what he looked like, unfortunately, and I feel terrible.
The name is familiar, but I can't.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to pick him out of a line, but that's okay.
No,
that's okay. It was written by Jeff Franklin and Russell Marcus, and we have several guest stars. I am so excited about this first one. The first guest star on my list here is Christian Alfonso as Robin Winslow.
Yep,
the Hope Brady from Days of Our Lives.
Oh, yeah.
Where I was Carrie Brady for 3.5 years at the same time.
Yes, you were.
It was
a little reunion.
Yes, and I was her flower girl in Bo and Hope's wedding in this massive cathedral in downtown Los Angeles. She is the nicest, most gracious, most beautiful woman actress. Like she's got it all. And she's so kind.
She was, I remember in the late 80s, Christian Alfonso was like the hair. Oh God, the
big
feathered hair. Just so much hair. It was freaking magnificent.
Yeah,
but there was so much hair. But she was like the it girl. You know what I mean? Like everyone knew Bo and Hope. Mm-hmm. It was it post or pre like Luke and Laura?
No, I think it was pre Luke and Laura.
Luke and Laura. Yeah, Luke and Laura was like more 90s. So this was Bo and Hope.
This was early 80s
my parents
for me.
Were like watched soap operas and stuff. So this was Days was a very big thing in our house.
Yes, and this is such a great role for her in Full House because it's like she is like the ultimate girl that Jessie wants and can't really get. And I'm like, it's Christian Alfonso. That's her. That's her. So
do you know she did 4,312 episodes on Days of Our Lives?
Wow.
Those are numbers you can only get in a soap opera.
Oh, yeah,
where you're doing
one a day
every day. You're doing one a day,
sometimes 2 a day. Yeah, that's not
like?
easy.
Was that
work.
Crazy?
Well,
I mean, when I never worked on a soap opera, but you did. Was
it? No, because I was a kid, so I wasn't in every single scene,
that's true,
so I didn't have a heavy workload. And then I think because I was so young, I could memorize lines so easily. You know how when you're a kid, it's true. Like you read it once or twice. After one rehearsal, it's just stuck in your head.
Right.
And now it's like
soap
the
opera
opposite.
people just, you absorb.
Yeah, you absorb. So, I didn't find it very difficult. Everybody was so kind on the set. And, I loved it. I was like one of the only kids on the set. So I got lots of attention from the adults. And everyone was so nice.
By the way, we got another fact wrong.
Oh, no. What do we get wrong now?
I'm not shocked. But Luke and Laura were started in 1979. Their wedding was 1981. So.
Okay. Got it. So,
yeah.
So this was
Hope
and Bo was
post
Luke and Laura. All right, and Luke and Laura was before my time. So
right. Well, anyway, I loved seeing this because it was a nice little Days of Our Lives moment crossover. So.
I know. I'm bummed that Kimmy Gibbler wasn't in this episode for several reasons.
I know, right?
But this is she is it. I am so happy that we got to see her in this episode.
Yes.
But also guest starring in this episode is Darcy DeMoss as Jill. She's also known for Can't Buy Me Love and Friday the 13th, Vengeance 2, Bloodlines, as well as other Friday the 13th films. Okay. I don't watch those horror films.
I love horror films.
Them,
but I do, but I don't, but I actually don't know. Friday the 13th, Vengeance, is that like, that obviously must be like a spin-off of the original Friday the 13th? Or is it just the second, Vengeance 2, Bloodlines?
Oh.
I don't know. There's a lot of those movies. Okay. Anyway.
Right. You're asking the wrong person, so I don't know. I haven't seen any
and
of
I
them.
also have thoughts on Jill's appearance, but anyway, it's
Jill is the girlfriend that comes back. Okay, yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get there.
We also have guest starring Joshua Cadman as Derek, the stage manager, and Mark Costello as Anchorman. He doesn't have a name; he's just Anchorman.
Not that Anchorman, not San Diego. No, it's not that Anchorman, but just as an Anchorman, just in general. Lowercase.
Yeah, but I think he has a line, so he deserves, and he's got a credit here, so he deserves a name. I think if you have a speaking part, you deserve a name in the script, and not just Anchorman.
Mr. Anchorman. Well, I mean, you've seen speaking parts that are like, whatever,
no big deal. Yeah,
barista number 2 or so. It's
true, very true. Okay, I'll allow it.
Okay.
So we open this show in the news studio with Danny.
Which is the first time we've ever seen it, by the way, isn't it?
That's right.
Or is it? No, wait, we saw it. Boxing episode, didn't we?
Oh, well, no, because he was at the mat, or he was in the locker
thing.
room.
Okay.
So I think this is the first time we've seen the newsroom.
Got it.
Which is cool. It's,
yeah.
I always like when they make the stage look like they just kind of like move some equipment out of the way. And
right.
Okay,
you're like, oh yeah, it's all right. We can see all of the backgrounds and all.
You can see all the stuff that you normally can't see behind the sets, and so they're like, it's not a big deal. It's
just widen the shot out a little bit and then see the top of this. Yeah, exactly.
It's very convenient. So Danny's in the newsroom with his fellow anchorman, and he promotes his sports segment. They go to commercial, and Danny goes to hug Robin, a beautiful soon-to-be coworker, he hopes. He asks her if she got the field reporting job she was interviewing for, and if so, is she making more money than him? The stage manager comes over and tries to pull Danny from the conversation to get back onto the set.
Okay, when the stage manager comes over, why is he so aggressive? What is happening? Why is he...
Okay, first of all...
Like a linebacker. He's like, go, Danny! I'm like, oh my God, calm down.
He's very aggressive. First of all, when he
I thought it was going to pay off in a joke where he's like, oh, we just hired him from, he retired from the Giants or the 49ers or this is how much sports I know.
Sports, right.
But, you know what I mean? But like, I was expecting some sort of payoff for his over the top aggressiveness towards Danny. And it was just never acknowledged that like, he's very harsh in his demeanor and is dragging his sportsman around.
He's a little high strung, but I just pick, he's like the second AD on a set where they have a really hard job.
That's true.
Managing actors, it's like chasing cats.
That's true. I've seen second ADs actually do that with Bob, where they're like, just come to set, please.
Get over there, right? So, it's true. And when Derek walks up, we see the back of him. I thought it was Keith Richmond at first.
I did too. I literally I rewound it twice, and I was like, is that Keith Richmond, who was our first AD on set during Full House?
Yeah.
But it was not.
Yeah, it was not.
Although
him.
I do think at some point we see Keith.
He does some somewhere. Sort of not here though, but it would have been great, because
Right.
Keith probably could have been just
but
as
we
aggressive.
had Derek, the manhandling, AD. Jeez.
Yeah, he was very high strung.
Calm down, sir.
So Danny tells him 1 minute, and he asks Robin if she would like to come over for dinner tonight. And I'm asking, like, I know we get to it later, but I'm like, who is this woman? Why is Danny asking her to dinner? Like, is this a date?
That was the strange thing. It threw me. I was like, wait, how do you know? Like, usually
we don't have the backstory yet.
Well, usually shows are overly expository in their writing, and they're like, oh my gosh, Robin, I haven't seen you since that class we had at San Francisco State in 1981, and we were 17 years old. Right, and you're like, okay, I get it. But this was just like
no exposition whatsoever.
But it happens a couple times in this episode where you're like, oh, you're just did I?
I'm like, how well do they know each other that Danny's,
I felt like I missed an episode somewhere in here.
Same.
Personally.
Same.
Anyway.
And she's so stunningly
Robin just
beautiful.
appears.
Like,
right.
Yeah, so
coming over. Right. And I'm like, is this a date?
Right.
No, they're just friends.
They're just friends. They're friends. And I'm just, it distracted me so much. I was the same way. I was like,
yeah,
what is going on here? So Robin tells Danny that she still needs to check into her hotel. And Danny invites her to stay at the Tanner Hilton. Again,
why?
How comfortable
you have
are
so
they?
many damn people in this house already, Danny.
Do we need
You
more?
are already shifting people around. Where are you going to put her? The alcove?
Right.
Where is this person going to sleep?
Like the cot is still warm from Joey's butt because he just moved out of the
Danny,
alcove.
settle.
Where's he going to put her?
Danny, settle down. Not everyone needs to come move into the house.
She has a hotel reservation. Let her use it, you know?
Yeah. Right. If someone was like, I have to check into the hotel, I'd be like, great. Great. And if they were like, oh, I don't have a place to stay, I'd be like, we should find you a hotel.
Right.
Because I have 17 people living in my house and there's no more room.
It is a full house.
And apparently only like 2 bathrooms. So trust me, you don't want to do this. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, he should have told her that. She might not have stayed if she had known the bathroom situation.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, she looks like she needs a bathroom all to herself with that incredible full blue pantsuit.
The pantsuit was great, dude. So
that
80s.
blue was amazing. Just monochromatic AF.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I loved it. Loved it. So Danny goes back to the news desk, and at this very moment, Jesse walks into the station carrying Michelle on his shoulders. He sees Robin and stops. Have mercy, he says. He tells Michelle to do your thing, beam her in, and he starts slowly approaching Robin. Michelle points at Robin and gives a little giggle, and Robin notices her and says, oh, she is so adorable. Jesse whispers to Michelle, you're better than a Ferrari. Come on, dude. Like, he's using the baby
and it
to
only
attract
gets worse
women.
when we find out what else he's been up to.
Yes.
Again, I'm telling you, he is making very poor choices, and I think someone needs to speak to him about his issues.
This is peak Jesse right here.
Peak Jesse.
Jesse.
So anyway, Ferrari baby.
Ferrari baby, right. So Jesse and Robin meet eyes and say hello, and there is an instant connection. This is such great casting. I mean, I'm sure Christian Alfonso can have chemistry with a fire hydrant, but their chemistry is outstanding in this whole episode.
I found it uncomfortable though, because it always because there was always someone else in the freaking room.
There's always a kid or
weird.
a baby.
They're like almost making out with each other over multiple people in different scenes.
Yeah, you're
and I'm
right.
just like, can you guys stop?
Right.
Again,
it's like
poor choices, bad
read
boundaries.
Read the room.
Read the room. Right. But it was. Yeah,
it's off-putting. It's off-putting. But at this moment, I'm like, wow, they have an instant connection. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, but like I said, couldn't he have gotten a puppy? Puppies, okay, fine. You want to use that to get women? You got to take care of a dog. But like as a baby, it feels a little. Anyway,
poor Michelle. So Robin mentions that this is the cutest baby she has ever seen, and Jesse shows off by blowing raspberries on Michelle's tummy. They all laugh, and Jesse tells Robin to take a turn.
What?
Weirdly, she agrees to this and blows raspberries on Michelle's tummy.
I have never walked up to. I may have accidentally touched a pregnant woman's stomach. I'll give myself that. I have never, out of nowhere, on a stranger's baby, put blown a raspberry on their belly, I would be like, I think that's a line too far, sir.
There are no boundaries here, you know? It was weird that he invited her to do this, and it was weird that she did it. Like, it was just
right? Yeah. I mean, I guess the 80s were just a time when you just did that, maybe. I don't know. Was this normal?
Well,
was it like, was it sort of like pinching on the cheek and get like, here, blow on my baby? I don't know.
well, this episode was written by two men, so I'm wondering... I don't know. I mean, Jeff didn't have kids. I don't know if Russell Marcus had kids. But I'm like, if a mom had written this episode, they'd be like, no, don't touch my baby. Like,
don't
get
touch
away.
my child. Right.
6 feet away, please. Yeah. Do not put any of your body parts on my baby's body parts.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, stop that. Stop that.
So awkward. Yeah. This whole interaction is just getting more awkward by the minute.
Oh, Jesse.
So Robin and Jesse continue this conversation by talking to Michelle when in reality, they're just sending messages to each other. Like Jesse says, Michelle thinks the three of us should get together for a romantic evening of dinner and dancing.
Which is weird to invite a baby on a romantic evening of dinner and dancing, but you call me crazy.
He's still using the baby to get this date.
Right, like the three of us are having such a good time. We should all have a romantic date? What? No, we shouldn't.
What is
we
this
should
fake
leave the baby
family?
out of this.
Like, this is weird.
Right.
Oh, dear. So Robin agrees to meet tomorrow night. And Jesse suggests that they seal it with a kiss, for Michelle, of course. So they each kiss the sides of Michelle's cheeks, which would be adorable, except Jesse is still hitting on this woman with the baby literally inches away.
It would be adorable if they weren't 6 inches away from each other, being like, I want to hump you. You know what I mean? And there's a baby's face in the middle. It's so weird.
So weird. Like, this is so weird. Yeah, no, it just...
Like, I get what they're trying to do, but it's just, watching it now, you're like, that's so odd.
Yeah.
It's so odd.
I want John to rewatch this episode and then tell us how he feels about that now at age 60. Like, how do you feel about all these things?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
yeah. But also, like, if a dude walked up to you in a studio and did that and was like, here,
I would
kiss
run.
my baby.
I would run.
I would be like, sir, I think you need to go somewhere.
Sir, you're not okay. And what, like, nobody, she doesn't even ask, why are you here with a baby?
Why are you here?
Who
Why
do
are
you know?
you dressed in an exterminator costume and holding a baby?
There's several things wrong with this scenario.
Yeah.
So thankfully, Robin says goodbye at this moment, and she walks away.
Thankfully.
Thank God. So we see Danny. He's settling into the news desk, getting ready to give his sports cast in 15 seconds when Jesse decides to drop the baby into Danny's lap, claiming he has an audition, and then he bolts.
Also completely makes sense because
Danny can watch the child. He's about to go live on Channel 8.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And also, what car did Jesse put the baby on the motorcycle? What car did he drive?
Oh, yeah. Well, he does have the Bugmobile, the exterminator. He's mentioned that. I don't know if it's this episode or a prior episode, but he says the Bugmobile.
So you just throw the kid in the back with the
fumes and the poison.
With the pesticides?
Yes,
okay, good.
pesticides.
Okay, just right. I mean, because I'm sure there's a car seat available. Okay, just checking.
I think you have a firm grasp of the situation.
Again, I this is reality, and this is not.
Right,
okay,
right. So suddenly, Danny is live and awkwardly introduces Michelle as a new addition to the sports segment. He asks Michelle if she thinks the Warriors can beat the Nuggets tonight and by how many points. He holds up her hand and follows her cues. 5 points. 1 point? Okay, 5 points. And she just keeps pointing,
it
in
was
different
so
directions.
cute. Right.
So cute.
Pointing at someone off camera.
Pointing at Adria, the baby wrangler.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Cute. But hey,
Really cute, though. Again, we're starting to see the little personality come out. It's very funny.
I do love it. I
get it. I mean, look, you can't blame Hope for thinking the baby's cute.
Hope.
It's just...
Let's just call her Hope for the rest of the
did I call her Hope? Oh, my God.
Well, she is Hope. Like, that's it.
I get it.
Literally, I
haven't seen Days of Our Lives since she's probably been on it. And I'm like, that's her name. That is who she is. And she's probably like, I get that all the time.
That's not the last time we're going to do this. So just warning to the Tanneritos listening out there right now. We will be calling her Hope or Robin or Christian Alfonso.
Right. Hope, Robin,
yeah.
Christian,
she has 3
Alfonso,
names.
Ribeiro. I don't know. It's going to be okay.
Our first call is Mary in Lexington, Kentucky. Mary, welcome to The Middle.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
If you really want to know what's going on in this country heading into the 2024 election, you have to get away from the extremes and listen to The Middle.
Hi, my name is Venkat. I'm calling you from Atlanta, Georgia.
On the new podcast, The Middle with Jeremy Hobson, I'm live every week taking your calls and focusing on Americans in the middle who are so important politically but are often ignored by the media.
I've been a lifetime Democratic voter. However, I was raised by moderate Republicans from Michigan.
Creating space for a civil conversation about the most contentious issues we face, from climate change to artificial intelligence, from abortion rights to gun rights.
I consider myself to be conservative fiscally, but politically independent.
Listen to The Middle with Jeremy Hobson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Marissa Thalberg.
And I'm Stephen Wolf Pereira. And we want to invite you to join us for a new podcast, Brand New.
So what's actually new about Brand New? Well, Stephen and I are not only working C-suite executives, we're friends.
And my friend Marissa is actually one of the most influential chief marketing officers in the world.
And hey, Stephen has a storied career across finance, tech, and multicultural entertainment.
Because of that, we've got a lot to say about the world of tech, entertainment, advertising, media, and marketing, what we affectionately call team. We always adore each other, but don't always agree with each other, and that's part of the fun.
It's real talk from the inside, sometimes personal talk too, and it's meant for everyone, rising in business or just interested in it. In each episode, we give our hot takes on hot topics and always answer what's on your minds too.
Just look for the Brand New podcast on the iHeart Podcast Network or wherever you listen.
It's a brand new conversation that you won't want to miss.
Hello, beautiful people. I'm Saida Garrett, Grammy winner and two-time Oscar-nominated singer-songwriter and passionate knitter. And now, host of my very own show, the Uppity Knitter Podcast, Celebrity Hobbies Uncovered. Ever wonder how celebrities spend their spare time when they're not on stage or in the studio or in front of a camera? Well, I'm calling all my celebrity friends to come on my show and spill the tea on what they're up to when the camera's not on. Friends like RuPaul. And how about actor and comedian Marlon Wayans? And you'd be surprised to know which female musician and recording artist is also an expert in archery? Tune in to the Uppity Knitter Podcast, Celebrity Hobbies Uncovered, with me, Saida Garrett, for a stitch of inspiration and pearls of laughter. Subscribe now on the iHeartRadio app and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So later that night, we are in the living room where Danny and Robin are talking with DJ and Stephanie. Robin says she remembers DJ when she was the size of Stephanie. DJ really has no recollection of Robin. Danny says that's okay. DJ was only 5. Stephanie decides that she should be taking notes in case she forgets all of this because she's 5.
I wish I had listened to 5-year-old me, because it does mean that I'm going to forget all of this when you're 5, and I should have been taking notes because here we are.
Here you are. Right. True. So next we're in the kitchen where Joey is reheating Chinese takeout in a wok and planning to pass it off as his own cooking. Joey tells Michelle, "You never saw these takeout cartons." And Michelle puts her hands over her eyes in this cute little peekaboo.
Little peekaboo.
Yeah, little peekaboo moment. It's adorable. Stephanie pops in and announces that she can see the takeout cartons. Joey, she says. Once again, Stephanie's being the adult in this situation. Joey says he's tired of everyone giving him a hard time because he's not the world's greatest cook. Stephanie says...
As evidenced by the pizza in a pot.
Oh, yeah, the pizza... what was that?
Yeah, the pizza that he made that was like
no one knew it was
beige
pizza.
Or brown or
Spoon pizza.
Right.
It was
Right. They were like,
spoon
"Well, order pizza," and he was like, "It is," and you're like, "That what? That's like soup."
He's got a track record of not
it's not
the
going
world's greatest cooking. But Stephanie says, "Well, that's okay because she's not the world's greatest anything." Aw. Joey tells her, "Well, you're the world's greatest Stephanie," which is so sweet. Steph promises to keep Joey's secret, and then she exits to tell everyone that Joey is almost done with his cooking. And Jodie, you're so talented in this scene because not only are you you're talking to Joey, you're doing your lines, but you're also interacting with the baby, and that's a lot of multitasking for a 5-year-old. I struggle with that as an adult. If you got props, babies, lines, that's a lot. That's a lot for a 5-year-old.
I do my best when I'm trying to do 15 things at once. Right.
That's where you shine.
When I'm sitting still, that everything goes wrong. Or walking.
Right. Simple things.
But thank you. Thank you. No, it's true. I mean, it was, I noticed that too. I was like, oh, it was, I was still able to kind of do both things, which, again, I was 5, 6. It was not easy.
You handled it effortlessly, so props to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so at this moment, a woman named Jill walks right in the back door and asks if Jesse is home yet. Joey asks if they are dating again, and Jill says they never really stopped. Joey says, amazing.
Such a random appearance of a person we've never seen.
We've never heard her. She just walks right in the back door,
right?
a la Gibbler.
It would have made more sense if it was someone we'd already seen him with.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we never really stopped dating. And we're like, wait, what? Because then you're like, wow. So Jesse's doing,
how many women is he dating at the same time? I don't know. I don't want to know, actually.
Dating.
I don't want to know. Dating.
And
none of these women have A names. Jill and Robin, that's not like Brianna.
We've broken the streak.
We've broken the streak. So maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, the streak is broken.
Yeah, it was, I was like, wait, who are you? And who's the other lady? We still haven't gotten to who the other lady is. And she met DJ when she was 5. Why?
Right. We don't know.
Where are you from?
We still don't know the backstory.
Right.
I have so many questions.
So many questions about where these women are appearing from and why.
So Joey's like, this is amazing. Even when Jesse doesn't have a date, he has a date. And Jill just walks right upstairs, uninvited. So she's kind of ballsy, This is...
That's what I'm saying. She kind of,
She's like, don't mind me. I'm just going to go upstairs to his room, while Joey's cooking. She's very comfortable with this situation.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The audience
Which
is not,
again, also strange. So it means she's been up there before.
Mm-hmm.
When the kids are home? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know.
Don't pull that thread.
No.
The less you know.
Yeah.
Not the more you know, but the less you know.
The less you know.
So back in the living room, Jesse walks in the front door and immediately locks eyes with Robin, who is sitting on the couch. Danny introduces her. She was a news writer at my first station. Aha!
There we
finally
go.
We're 5 scenes into this. We finally get a little backstory. That's enough, but that's enough.
That's enough. Something. Although I guess, it would have been weird to it would have been very total setup, but it just felt a little buried.
Yeah.
We didn't know who she was. Anyway.
I agree. So Jesse walks over to Robin and says, we're going out tomorrow, right? And Robin responds, absolutely. DJ responds, boy, does he work fast. Danny tells Jesse that he invited Robin to stay for the weekend in Jesse's room. Jesse is thrilled at this prospect until Danny reveals that this means Jesse will be bunking with Joey in Joey's room.
Danny just assumes that people are willing to,
There's been a lot of musical chairs, musical bedrooms, people are switching rooms all the time. Joey's moved into the garage, back to the alcove.
I feel like Danny really had the first Airbnb in San Francisco.
Right.
You know what I mean? Except he wasn't charging anyone for it.
He didn't make any money off of it.
Right.
So Joey walks in and he's pretending to ring a triangle dinner bell and he herds everyone into the kitchen. Jill walks downstairs at this very moment and says, hi, Jesse. And Jesse is shocked to see her. You didn't forget about our date, did you? Jill asks him. Jesse tells her, well, we can go out to eat right now. And he's trying to get her to leave. But Joey persuades them to stay because he spent hours cooking a delicious Chinese meal. Jill just exits to the kitchen saying how much she loves Chinese food. And Jesse looks like he wants to strangle Joey. Way to go, Joey. He's so desperate for validation of his cooking. So moments later, we're in the kitchen. Everyone is seated at the dinner table, including Jill and Robin. There is a seat saved for Jesse right in between them, conveniently enough.
Oh, wow. That's just awkward.
And we see DJ and Stephanie on the audience side of the table with the weird wall insert.
I was going to say, it's the first time that we've seen a reverse.
The reverse, yeah.
Of the kitchen, which is where they, basically they bring in a fake wall and just put it behind, and they bring the cameras up into the set and get those shots. Now, that's not something that you usually do in front of a live audience because it takes a little bit to get everything in place. So that's one of those things that you usually shoot on a Thursday on a pre-tape day.
Right.
So that it's already done so that when you edit it together, you have it. But when you're shooting in front of the live audience, you don't have to reposition everything and fly walls in and all that kind of stuff.
It takes a long time to even just to roll the wall in. And this one's pretty simple. Like there's no picture frames. There's no like set deck really. It's just a brown wall. But it still takes time to move all of the cameras and stuff, like you said.
But it's the first time we've seen the reverse wall.
Yeah, I got excited. It's not, and it won't be the last.
Yeah, look, there's a fourth wall in the house. No,
the first time we've seen the fourth wall. That's right. Oh. So Jesse introduces Robin and Jill as friends, and Robin mentions that Jill said she and Jesse have a date tonight. He can't put this past Hope, that's for sure. Jesse, who's trying to distract Hope. Yep. Oh, Hope. Jesse, trying to distract, starts dishing up the food, and everyone comments on how delicious it is. Danny comments that it tastes very similar to the lo mein at Uncle Wu's Chinese Palace. Everyone agrees except Stephanie, who says, except it's much better, trying to keep her promise to Joey. Joey winks at her.
And I wink.
You wink.
Which
you
I
try.
can apparently only do with my mouth open.
It's so funny to see you like manipulating your muscles.
Higher
face
head,
muscles.
leans to the, exactly, leans
so
to the
cute.
side. And, eating scenes.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about this.
Are never... They're never as great as you think because that food has been sitting there for a long time. And you can't actually eat it, which is one of the really hard things. Like, and we learned this lesson as adults too, when you'd have little actor treats in a scene. You can't eat all of it because then it doesn't look the same from shot to shot. So there's a lot of, plus it's chewing on camera, especially for like sitcoms. They don't really, unless it's part of the joke.
Yeah.
So you're kind of just pushing noodles around a plate and it's usually cold.
Yeah, it's definitely not
like cold fried chicken.
Delicious. Ooh,
cold fried chicken was actually cold fried chicken's delicious. But cold fried chicken was something that John always had to eat in a scene.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see it throughout the show. But there was always cold fried chicken and that was what he would eat in scenes. So yeah.
That became his
just
thing.
cold lo mein.
This is cold lo mein. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's definitely a foodography to acting in these food scenes where you have to time your bite with your lines and make sure you don't have a full mouth when you're talking. And yeah, you end up just pushing things around. Yep.
Yes.
So Jill tells the story of how she and Jesse met in a Chinese restaurant where Jesse came to pick up an order with Michelle. Jill says that there is just something about a man with a baby that is so sexy and hard to resist. Robin is onto him, and so is Danny, who pointedly asks Jesse, "You used my baby to meet women?" Right?
Yes.
Right. Thank you, Danny.
Yes.
Thank you.
Danny,
He's
did.
saying what we're all thinking.
Yeah, you should question his judgment.
Question him being in charge of your little baby.
Yeah. Not only that, Danny doesn't even know that random people have been blowing raspberries on his child's belly.
Oh, he doesn't even know the half of it.
Imagine what's going to happen when he finds that out. He's going to flip.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
He's going to blow. So Jill continues, "Once Jesse got me to kiss the baby, I was hooked." Robin ain't stupid. She questions Jill, "Did you kiss the baby on the stomach too?" Jill replies, "Yes."
Such a weird question. Now you're like, what a weird question.
What universe are we living in?
Right.
Yes.
Just such a, did you also kiss the baby? So what? What if she would have been like, "No, that's weird. Why would you do that?"
Yeah,
no.
it's just.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not normal. It's awkward. It's this like, let's get out of this scene.
Right.
Jesse drops his fork on the plate suddenly. The jig is up. DJ asks if the food is too spicy for Jesse because he is sweating bullets. And I am just, I'm here for that. He deserves to be sweating bullets. He's juggling all these women in front of each other. Oof. So later that night, Danny and Robin are in Jesse's room practicing for her audition tomorrow. Jesse walks in and says he needs to talk to Robin privately. Danny starts to leave, but Robin insists that he stay. Okay. So Robin tells Jesse that if this is about Jill, there's no problem. He should not feel bad about having a date tonight. Robin and Jesse just met. It's fine. Jesse says, "Oh, okay. So we're still going out tomorrow night?" And Robin responds, "No. She needs to focus on her career." Good answer, Robin. Good
Smart
answer.
woman.
Smart.
Smart
Focus
woman.
on your career. Don't fall for this player. Like, yes,
No.
you just keep your priorities straight, Robin.
This man is a baby user. Okay.
A baby user. He is.
Yep.
Danny again tries to leave, but Robin makes him sit back down. So he's literally in the middle of this awkward conversation. He's not doing anything. He's just sitting there.
Again,
and
that's
so
what I'm saying.
uncomfortable.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, sure, they have great chemistry. Maybe only when there's a third person there. I don't know.
Yeah, they have great chemistry as long as there's an audience there watching them.
They have great chemistry as long as there's, they're, I don't know what they're into. That's fine, but it just feels a little strange.
It's so weird. So Robin says that she's breaking their date, which Jesse does not want to accept. Robin explains that she's dated guys like Jesse before, and it always gets her in trouble. She's smart. Hope is a smart woman. Jesse challenges her and tells her to describe what type of guy he is. I mean, Jesse, get a clue. No means no.
Jesse.
Like, don't
that's
challenge
what I'm saying.
her.
Also, like, right, don't get mad.
Right.
She called you out on it.
Yeah.
Don't gaslight her.
Just take the L and go home. Like, or he's home, but just go away.
You already
know?
you have a date.
Yes.
You have a date. You didn't even
has
lose.
one date. Doesn't need another one.
Bro, go.
Come on, dude.
Go be happy with your one date. It's always, grass is always greener. I'm telling you, he's got some
He's got some issues. He's got some issues.
Yep.
Robin accepts this challenge and describes him as a guitar-playing, leather-wearing, Elvis-loving, motorcycle-riding, girl-chasing, blow-drying, baby-toting, tough guy type. Bingo.
Thank you.
She's got that right. She nailed
read
it.
him right. Yes.
Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse tries to convince her that he's other types too. Romantic, compassionate, the type that's attracted to your type. Danny, who is still in the middle of this.
Is you've had 6 minutes of conversation with her, all of which have been in front of someone else,
a baby or a father.
Right?
Yes.
You don't. How do you even know what type she is?
Yeah, I know. So Danny finally speaks up and he's like, "Is anyone aware of the fact that I am still in the room? Like, this poor man is being held hostage and being witness to this awkward interaction."
Yeah.
So Robin tells Jesse she's willing to bet that he has never had a relationship longer than 3 months. Jesse denies this, claiming that he once dated Sharon, what's-her-name, for 4 beautiful months. Danny adds, "Didn't she spend 2 of those months in Europe?" Jesse finally tells Danny to get out. Now that's the cue,
See?
right?
There you go. Right.
Danny's speaking truth, so Jesse's like, get out of here.
Everyone's speaking truth, and Jesse does not want to hear it.
No, he's in denial. He does not want to hear it.
There's the psychological breakdown of this is fascinating.
Oh, yeah. We're having a field day.
Do we think that he's using relationships as a way to deal with the loss of his sister?
Ooh.
Do we think that's meant, you know what I mean? Like it's a sort of a, I don't know.
I don't
Just
know
saying,
what it is.
throwing things out there.
I
I don't know what it is.
I don't know because
Does he have a terrible relationship with his mom? What is he searching? What is Jesse searching for?
Yeah, we don't know much about the mom. I think he wants to be a tough guy, and a womanizer. He wants so badly to portray that, but also juxtaposed with him wanting to find love and to find the love of his life. It's a weird, balance of, it's like, pick a lane, Are you a womanizer or do you want to meet the love of your life?
Think, right. Yeah, I think he's just wanting love for love's sake. It's not necessarily about the person because obviously, like he said, her type, which he doesn't even know, it's the pretty type. That's the type.
Yep.
That's his type.
She's pretty and she has great hair. That's all that
So
really matters.
much hair.
So
much hair.
So after Danny leaves, Robin tells Jesse the truth. She's afraid of getting hurt again. Guys like him and girls like her are totally different people. Jesse argues that that's the exciting part. They're like fire and ice. And do you know what you get with fire and ice? Steam. They are about to kiss when Robin breaks it off and just rushes to the door.
Jesse says you get a puddle is what you get.
You get a puddle. Exactly.
You get a puddle.
Jesse says, "I'm not taking no for an answer." Like, come on,
Get out
dude.
of the room,
Stop
sir.
talking. Respect this
talking.
woman's boundaries.
Right. She's in your room and you're, sir.
Yes.
Please go down the hallway. Go away.
Go. And so,
Stop it.
and Robin kicks him out, shuts the door, and Jesse is now in the hallway.
Right.
And he's still arguing with her through the door.
And also, like, this is Danny's friend.
Yeah,
Stop doing this.
Yeah. No, there's so many reasons why he's wrong in this scenario. Like,
there's
pick one.
so many.
So many to choose from.
Yeah, anyway.
So he's in the hallway. He's still yelling at her through the door. And we see the entire family is out in the hallway listening to this argument.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you know. Hey,
God knows.
Pop the popcorn.
I hear neighbors and you're like, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in a hotel and you're like, hold on. Shh. I've got to listen.
Definitely.
Not that I would ever do that because that's rude and
sure.
And no,
We're not
we wouldn't hear people
nosy.
arguing.
We're not nosy at all. Yeah.
No. But if they're in your house,
it's fair game. Hey, it's the Tanner house.
You're yelling
It's
in a
fair game.
hallway, sir, at someone you just met.
Yeah.
I can listen if I want.
Anyone can eavesdrop, and they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a stubborn Jesse tries to deny that he likes Robin, but he finally admits that he does like her. He says, "This is the worst breakup of my life, and I haven't even been out with her." Dude, slow down. Like, you've known her 7 minutes
Jesse,
now.
you've
7
known her.
minutes.
Yeah, 7 minutes. 6 of which have been with other people.
Yeah, with a baby in between them, or Danny,
or Danny,
or the other
who's
Jill.
your brother-in-law. Right, or you got this other girl who's like, "Are we going on a date?" And you haven't told her. She's probably still waiting outside.
Yeah, she's still downstairs with the
What happened
takeout
to Jill?
cartons of Chinese food. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesse, like,
he's making me
I
feel
don't know,
sorry
like,
for
he's-
Jill now too, and that's something.
Yeah, Jesse could have been. He could have won F-Boy Island. I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Had it been a thing.
Yeah.
He was kind of the first one.
He was the first one. He was the unofficial first one and winner.
No, I'm thinking he's pretty official. He is officially an F-boy. Okay. But he just, again, Jesse, what are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think this is going to complete you?
And why?
And yet you're never satisfied. It's always something more. This fascinating psychological breakdown.
And why isn't he listening? He's not listening when they say no. Like, that's important too, is that you hear what the other person is saying and setting a boundary. And he's just no.
I think we've decided boundaries are not Jesse's strong suit.
Not his
He'll
strong
get
suit.
there. He'll get there. Yeah. Eventually.
I mean, it's early. We're early in the 8-year run of this series.
He's a 24-year-old man in the 80s.
Mhm. Yeah, that tracks. That does track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our first call is Mary in Lexington, Kentucky. Mary, welcome to The Middle.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
If you really want to know what's going on in this country heading into the 2024 election, you have to get away from the extremes and listen to The Middle.
Hi, my name is Venkat. I'm calling you from Atlanta, Georgia.
On the new podcast, The Middle with Jeremy Hobson, I'm live every week taking your calls and focusing on Americans in the middle who are so important politically but are often ignored by the media.
I've been a lifetime Democratic voter. However, I was raised by moderate Republicans from Michigan.
Creating space for a civil conversation about the most contentious issues we face, from climate change to artificial intelligence, from abortion rights to gun rights.
I consider myself to be conservative fiscally, but politically independent.
Listen to The Middle with Jeremy Hobson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
From Wall Street to Main Street and from Hollywood to Washington, the news is filled with decisions, turning points, deals, and collisions. I'm Tim O'Brien, the senior executive editor for Bloomberg Opinion, and I'm your host for Crash Course, a weekly podcast from Bloomberg and iHeartRadio. Every week on Crash Course, I'll bring listeners directly into the arenas where epic upheavals occur, and I'm going to explore the lessons we can learn when creativity and ambition collide with competition and power. Each Tuesday, I'll talk to Bloomberg reporters around the world, as well as experts and big names in the news. Together, we'll explore business, political, and social disruptions and what we can learn from them. I'm Tim O'Brien, host of Crash Course, a new weekly podcast from Bloomberg and iHeartRadio. Listen to Crash Course every Tuesday on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, beautiful people. I'm Saida Garrett, Grammy winner and 2-time Oscar-nominated singer-songwriter and passionate knitter. And now, host of my very own show, the Uppity Knitter Podcast, Celebrity Hobbies Uncovered. Ever wonder how celebrities spend their spare time when they're not on stage or in the studio or in front of a camera? Well, I'm calling all my celebrity friends to come on my show and spill the tea on what they're up to when the camera's not on. Friends like RuPaul. And how about actor and comedian Marlon Wayans? And you'd be surprised to know which female musician and recording artist is also an expert in archery? Tune in to the Uppity Knitter podcast, Celebrity Hobbies Uncovered, with me, Saida Garrett, for a stitch of inspiration and pearls of laughter. Subscribe now on the iHeartRadio app and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The next day, we are in the kitchen where Jesse is serving up French toast to the family and claiming that he's fine. It's her loss. He's moving on. Danny tells him
How
that...
can you move on from something you didn't even move into?
He's so in denial.
How are you like, I'm moving on? Sir, you never moved it forward.
Yes. Danny tells him that he always rushes into everything. Why doesn't he just slow down?
Thank you.
Let her get
Danny
to know
is
him.
the voice of reason.
Thank God for Danny
in this
Tanner.
episode.
Yes.
Danny Tanner.
He is saying what everyone else is thinking in the audience. And
yeah.
Thank God for him. Yep. So Danny tells him just be her friend first. And Jesse is not a fan of this advice.
He basically doesn't think that men and women can be friends. That he's one of those. He's one of those.
He's one of those.
Right. He's like, we can't know that you're friends after you date.
Right.
Like, okay.
Right.
Well,
I don't agree with
if
that.
he just learned, if you're friends with them first,
that's what leads to a healthy romantic relationship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesse doesn't want to hear it.
He's got a lot to teach Jesse.
He again claims that he's fine, but Joey notes that Jesse has piled like a dozen pieces of French toast on his plate, so clearly he's not fine.
Ooh, now I want French toast.
Sounds good, doesn't it? So later, we're in the girls' room, and DJ and Stephanie are watching Robin.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
What?
A backup, though.
Okay, back up.
Did you get the King Kong Bundy reference?
I didn't write that down. Tell me.
True crime fan that I am, I was like, wow, we're making a dark reference here. And what does King Kong have to do with Ted Bundy?
That's my
Then I
question.
realized that wasn't it.
Oh, what is it?
Although that would be a very strange combination. No, it was King Kong Bundy apparently is an 80s, 90s WWF homage reference.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not the serial killer and the giant gorilla.
Well, look, I don't know if that maybe wasn't the inspiration for the WWF guy. I mean, that would be terrifying.
True.
You know what I mean?
Intimidating, for sure.
A very charming gorilla. But yeah, no,
so it's a wrestling. It's a wrestling.
It's a wrestling thing. King Kong Bundy for those. And earlier there was a Shirley MacLaine reference having to do with the afterlife, because that's when she was talking about her past life experiences, and she wrote that book, and it was a whole thing. And everyone was like, Shirley MacLaine's crazy, and I love Shirley MacLaine.
Oh,
So
that's
anyway,
a very
that's just
80s
my
reference
statement.
right there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
yes.
great.
So I thought I'd clarify those two things for everyone who didn't know.
Yeah,
like myself.
like me. I didn't know either. So
Like me.
Thank you for that clarification.
There we go.
Oh,
You're
awesome.
welcome.
Awesome.
Okay.
Moving on. In the girls' room, DJ and Stephanie are watching Robin put on makeup for her audition. Stephanie says that she is so pretty, and DJ offers to do her nails. And I got to admit, this scene makes me long for Becky. Like, the girls so clearly need like a mother figure or a female figure in their life just to do makeup and nails.
These poor kids.
These poor
and they're like,
girls.
just marry my uncle who's totally like, has no boundaries. It'll be great.
Right.
But yeah, it does. I
Made me a
remember
little
brushing
wistful.
her hair, though. I remember brushing her hair.
Ooh.
I do.
Was it as fabulous as it looks?
Because it was because I have, again, 3 hairs on my head. They're all pulled up in a little bun right now. But even all the curly hair, like when I was a kid, all that hair was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I was like,
and you got to touch it.
It's like Rapunzel. Yeah.
Yeah, just like Rapunzel.
Yeah.
So yeah, Stephanie's brushing her hair. She says this is much better than doing nails.
Oh, maybe we'll save this for the Everywhere You Look moment.
Oh. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna save this for the Everywhere You Look moment.
Okay, we're bookmarking this scene for later on for
Yeah.
Everywhere You Look. Okay. So Robin says don't count on her dating Uncle Jesse.
Yeah.
And then DJ makes this reference to moonlighting and how David and Maddie didn't like each other at first either. Do
Right.
10-year-olds
And
watch
they-
moonlighting? That seemed like an odd thing for her to reference?
I mean,
I mean,
well, I think Moonlighting was like, it was a, primetime, like Friday night show. It was probably on at like 9 or 10 or something that, like a 13-year-old kid would be like, ooh, I get to watch Moonlighting.
Yeah, okay. It's like a grown-up show. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those like a grown-up show. And sort of, a fun Moonlighting reference to the 80s.
Okay.
And they really actually did hate each other. So
They did. All right.
In real life and on screen. It was great.
Okay. So then Steph and DJ talk up all of Jesse's great qualities. He can sing. He gives fun piggyback rides. He's got an awesome head of hair. And he teaches you to ride a two-wheeler without training wheels. So cute that the girls are just trying to sell this guy, this womanizer.
Right?
He has great qualities. He has
They'll
great
learn.
qualities. But
He does.
But
He does. He can teach you to ride a bike.
Right.
But
yeah. That doesn't translate to dating relationships, but okay, that's okay.
Well, if you don't know how to ride a bike, it's a great first date. I'm just saying, maybe you're like, I've never ridden a bike in my life. And he's like,
teach me.
I could teach you.
I can teach you without training wheels.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
put that on your Tinder
I want to be
profile.
romantic. I'm just saying, I could teach you how to ride a bicycle is a great pickup line.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Be like, no, for real, actually. Maybe they could do it down Lombard Street and see how it goes.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Oh dear. Yes, the bike. Oh dear. Okay. So Jesse enters the room and says, "Good morning." It still feels awkward between Jesse and Robin. Jesse tells the girls that he'll give them a ride to school in his bug-mobile. That's it.
With all the pesticides.
Yes.
Great.
And
throw those kids right in the back.
yeah, Michelle's been there, just breathe in
Michelle
the
might
poison.
still be there. Who
She's
knows?
probably still
Yeah.
there. Because he needs her for the next picking up of whatever the next woman is.
He uses babies and cockroaches to pick up women. It's astounding.
Wow. Non-conventional, but it clearly works sometimes.
But it's working.
It's
I
working,
guess.
except not on Robin.
Right.
So Stephanie says, "Wait, I need to grab my milk money." She reaches into her dresser drawer, but then she slams it right on her finger. Ouch.
Ow.
Jesse rushes over to her to make things better. And you did a great job here, just pretending that your finger was hurt. Like, you've had a lot of practice getting hurt, so maybe this was
I had so much practice getting hurt. Actually, funny story. I actually did, I think the first season, maybe second, slam my finger in the car door in the parking structure at Sony Studios because we were running late, and I slammed my hand in the door, and it was really painful.
Oh, yeah. Ow.
Yeah. And I definitely was not seeing blue polka dots.
Mm. Well,
because much more terrifying. Yeah,
that's a different story.
Yeah.
So Jesse's consoling her. He tells her he can fix this because he went to finger college, which is cute and kind of weird, but cute. And
a lot of people. Never mind.
Okay. How many jokes are running through your mind right now? 3 to 5.
That's a very
conservative
very low estimate. Yeah. At least 10.
Oh dear. Okay.
Yep. I mean, 10 fingers. Okay.
Oh
sorry.
dear.
Go.
No.
What? Sorry. Go.
Moving on.
Yeah. A lot of people went to finger college. All right. Let's go.
So Robin is silently observing this sweet moment between Jesse and Stephanie. Jesse tells Stephanie to put her finger on her nose and describe what color the pain is. He asks her a few more questions that totally distracts her from her finger pain. And before you know it, she feels better. Okay, so see, this is one of his great qualities. He is great with kids. He's not great with Robin, but he's great with kids. I thought it was a great way to get you to distract you from your pain.
He's great at distracting. He's great at distractions.
Yes.
He's great at distractions.
I thought it was a really cute way to get your
it
mind
is.
off
It's
of
a very
your
cute
pain.
moment. And I remember doing that scene with John, and I have my little finger on my nose, and the blue polka dots and the whole thing. And I remember the way he talked like this when he would say it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I just remember. Yeah. I remember it.
It's so cute. You guys have great chemistry together. So next we are back at the news station where Danny is again holding Michelle at the news desk. He says to the audience, "Thank you for all your calls requesting that Michelle be a regular on the 4:00 sports." Michelle is thrilled. She's putting her arms over her head.
Cute.
She's laughing. She's clapping. She's waving at the audience.
She was having the best time. She was just loving it. It was such a cute baby moment.
Yes, she's great on camera. Jesse, who has been waiting off stage, comes over to retrieve Michelle, and Danny thanks him for picking her up. We cut to Robin, who is rehearsing her audition material. Robin sees Jessie and Michelle watching her. Creepy.
Right?
Creepy.
Yeah. Bro, you've already said like you're not going to take no for an answer. Now you're showing up at her audition?
Again, with the baby. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Jessie tells her that Michelle was just saying how interesting her rehearsal was. And Robin tells him, just cut out that Michelle business, which thank God. Can we stop talking, saying that the baby is saying these things? Just own it, Jessie.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So she says, be honest, you didn't like it. And Jessie admits that her audition put him to sleep.
It's a news report.
Well, and why does she care what he thinks? Like, now she cares about his opinion? Like, no.
This was a big mansplaining moment.
Oh,
for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just,
oh my God, look at Jesse. He's never been a news reporter before, and now he's so hilarious.
He's going to explain it all, how to do it, how to audition. So he gives her a pep talk. He says there is something very special about her. She just needs to let out more energy. You got to have fun. You can't be afraid of auditions. Jesse hands Michelle to her, and then he sits down at the desk to demonstrate. Hello, San Francisco. How the heck are you? And he riffs on her audition piece, making it just jokey and silly and amusing. But again, you're like you said, this is a news piece. It's not supposed to be like a comedy stand-up routine.
Well, and I guess he's like, oh, it's, he's like, I tried to make it terrible so you look great. But like, bro, I don't, if I were her, I'd be like, sir, you have a dead cockroach on your back. I don't need to take any newscaster advice from you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Please take the baby and exit stage left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what she should have said. Yes.
That's what she should have said. That's what she should. But I will hand it to her. She does at least manage to call Jesse on his nonsense occasionally.
She does. She's the only one that's been that self-aware. Of all the girlfriends with all the A names, she's been very self-aware.
Right.
So we hear Brian Cale announce that it's time for Robin's audition.
Wait, the voiceover announcer was Brian Cale.
Our dialogue coach, yes. He's watching his diction. He's doing a great job.
Yes, that's why he's so great at voiceover, because he just really, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, he just really works the mouth before so that everything sounds crisp and clear.
Yeah, he's got strong mouth muscles. So Jessie introduces Robin for some awkward reason, and then she sits down and she confidently starts to read from her audition notes.
Right. Well, thank God Jessie made her confident, because otherwise.
Right. Come on, dude. Don't take credit for this win. Come on, dude. So later that night, we're in the kitchen where the family is toasting to Robin, Channel 8's newest field reporter. Yay! She got the job. Robin thanks the family for their help and asks Jessie if she can have a word with him. And they step outside into the backyard.
Oh. Where Jesse's motorcycle is conveniently parked.
Right. I know. This is, it's the driveway now. Like, who's parking in the driveway? No one, I guess.
Right?
They're all parking in the side yard.
If there's room for anything, there's room for a motorcycle on the street. There should be a car in the garage if we're pulling anything back, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, again, it's just to note that Jesse is a bad boy.
He's a badass.
He's a badass.
He's right. Yep.
So the motorcycle is in evidence.
In case you forgot, Jesse's a badass.
Yes.
With some potential love issues. But anyway.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm here for the growth. I'm here for the character arc.
Yep.
So Robin thanks Jesse for his help. She says, "Your insane newscast was so awful, it made me look terrific." Robin admits that she was wrong about Jesse, and the thing she loves most about him is his maternal instincts.
But she wasn't really wrong about Jesse, though, was she?
No, I think she was spot on.
I think she was spot on,
Yeah.
actually. I'd be like, no, you weren't wrong.
Yeah.
He has some nice qualities in addition to all of the things that you also said.
Exactly. And I agree with her. He's got great maternal or paternal instincts here, but let's not forget about all of the boundary crossing that he was doing earlier. So Jesse wonders how this happened, as he never even used to like kids until he talked to one. Robin says he has a terrific family here. The girls adore him, and she's beginning to see why. Jesse suggests that they should become friends. Robin says she would like that. Jesse says that if she ever wants to be more than friends, she has to make the first move because he won't. Good, Jesse.
But
that's growth. Yes, that's growth.
But she's like, we're going to be, he suggests the being friends after the Danny thing, right? And she's like, right, we're going to be friends.
He took his
and
advice.
then he's like, but maybe we're more than friends. I'm like, Jesse.
I know. He's not giving up. He's not giving up, but he does say he's not going to, He's not going to make the move. He's going to wait.
Right. I will. I'll give him that.
I give him credit for that. You know, it's a small credit, but I'm giving him credit for that. So Robin gives him a hug, and she lingers for a minute. He asks if that was her first move. She asks if his toes curled. He says yes. She says, well, you'll know when I make the first move because then everything will curl. And
do you want things to curl? I don't think you want things to curl when you're, you know, I feel like I feel like curling is kind of the opposite of what you would hope for. I don't know if you're making a move. I don't know.
Yeah, well, toes curling, yes. But other things,
everything
no,
curling?
I don't need any other
think
things to curl. No, you don't want that.
No. Maybe she meant his hair.
Oh.
I don't think she meant his hair.
I don't think she did either. But regardless, Jesse's like he's fallen for this. He's just like, he gives an enthusiastic have mercy. And that's our show.
And that's our show where Jesse's still not friends. And he's still...
They're not friends. No. He never landed the date. But he learned one thing, that they should be friends first. And she needs to make the first move. That was the growth of the whole episode.
Yep. Yeah. And we've learned that Danny is the only one that's like, is anyone else noticing this is normal?
Danny speaks for all of us.
He really does. Oh. He really does. But this was a very Jesse heavy story. I feel like in the rankings of things, my mom would rank this just under Sea Cruise.
I agree with Janice. I agree with her. I'm getting
Janice
Jesse
Sweeten, if you're listening, would this come in second place to Sea Cruise as far as your favorite episodes?
Yeah, or least favorite.
Or least, yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree with her. Like, it's like, I feel like we've been beat over the head with this, and I'm getting Jesse fatigue. It's like, we get it. You're a ladies' man. You're a womanizer. You're attractive. Like, we get it. And I kept asking myself, I'm reminding myself, like, who's the target audience for this? It's kids or families. It's not single guys who are dreaming about landing every beautiful woman you come across.
But single guys who were dreaming about landing things who were writing the show in large part. So, I feel like you write what you know. You write what you know, or you write what you want. And
this is what they knew.
Right. And this is what you do. And
that explains everything, actually.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Well, and I guess actually, when I think about it, it sort of it drives home the point even more though about these like three guys trying to raise these girls that just really have no clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just making it up as they go along, and
the
kids are still alive and happy and well fed.
They're still alive and haven't gotten any, weird diseases or rashes from other people blowing on their stomach. So, yay. That's a plus.
Yes.
And we have to go back to the everywhere you look moment.
Yes. Tell me your everywhere you look.
The everywhere you look moment was that DJ now has braces.
This floored me because I've been under the impression this whole time that Candace never needed braces. Like, she just always had perfect teeth. But now she had braces?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
I don't remember. I don't have any recollection of her ever.
But it's never really
it's not a plot point. Or
it's not like a plot point. It's never addressed from one sort of thing to the next. It's never like, oh, DJ gets braces. It's just this episode, DJ has braces.
Okay.
I bet you it was after. Well, wait, what episode is this?
This is 14, I think.
14. So this was after we did the first 13 episodes and didn't know if we were going to get picked up. And I bet you there was a hiatus in between this.
Right.
And during that time, she got her braces. And then when we came back to shoot the back half of the season, it was like, well, she has braces now.
Okay. Yeah.
And you just
got to work with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. DJ has braces.
Did you ever have, as a kid, flippers? Do you remember flippers?
Did I have flippers? So
flippers, yeah. Just tell us what flippers are.
Flippers were these things created by Dr. Robert Smith, who is still my kid's dentist.
Aw.
I still see him. He's still in the office. He's like my dad. Like he is like probably he's 90 years old and he's still like he's
Never gonna
know
retire.
it. He's
Okay.
killing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Dr. Smith. But he came up with these things that were basically child dentures.
Oh.
That when you would lose a tooth, you would get a little like fake tooth that flipped kind of in and was like on a little wire and just placed right in there to cover up the hole where your tooth was, because for continuity from, shoot to shoot, kids, when they're losing their teeth, it's very hard to, keep those things looking the same. You go for a few weeks and a tooth is now halfway in, but maybe that episode's going to air before. And then, so Dr. Smith created these things called flippers, and he would make set calls.
Oh, I didn't know
because sometimes every week you had to go in, because as your tooth is growing in, they've got to reshape how the little tooth cap fits over it, right?
Right.
And where your teeth are in your mouth. So every week or every couple weeks you'd have to go to Dr. Smith to get it fixed. But sometimes in a matter of 2 or 3 days, that tooth would make some progress. So you'd go to flip it in on set and it wouldn't fit.
Oh no.
So someone would have to call Dr. Smith, and here he came with his little flipper bag down to set, and he would drill it and reshape it on set to make sure that it fit for whatever you had to shoot.
Like, see, these are things that people don't know. Like, you would never know just by looking at your mouth how many flippers you had in at any given moment.
Yeah, and that was the official unofficial name of them was flippers.
Right?
Yep.
I love flippers.
And then you'd play with them, and you'd be like, flipping them literally in and out.
Like it's like a retainer. Yeah, you just want to flip it around.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that was so fun.
That was the thing.
We were so weird.
Fake teeth. Kids' fake teeth.
Okay, so my Everywhere You Look, it's just a tiny one. But in the first scene when Danny's at the newscaster's desk, he has this cool little gold pin he's wearing on his lapel. It's a Channel 8 pin. And I'm like, I love when props or wardrobe or whatever, it's these little details that they get so right. It doesn't matter. He didn't have to be wearing a Channel 8 pin, but I noticed it and I'm like, that's so cool that they.
But every newscaster, when they're on the news, has a pin for the channel that they're on.
Amazing attention to detail. I loved it.
Yep.
I loved it. Maybe we can buy that on eBay as well. Let's look on eBay.
I feel like the Channel 8 pin is probably worth less than some of the vintage San Francisco Giants gear, but maybe not.
True. Never know.
I haven't been eBaying for a Channel 8 pin lately, so we'll see. I bet Jensen will have one by the next by our next episode. He'll be like, "You guys, I just bought a Channel 8 pin. It was
he's already ordered it while we've been talking."
Definitely.
Oh
well, another Jesse episode.
Another Jesse episode, right? Not
another Jesse character arc.
Yep.
This one was it was
the thing that we watched.
It was a thing.
Not my favorite. Not my favorite.
Not my favorite. But coming up next week is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very excited for episode 15. Which is A Pox in Our House, which is going to be our next episode. So make sure that you join us for that. Make sure you are subscribing to the podcast so that you can get all the newest episodes. We also have some fun mini-sodes that we've started doing every couple weeks to fill you in on things like flippers and random behind-the-scenes stories that maybe we don't get to otherwise. So if you want to follow us on Instagram or DM us, we are at How Rude Podcast, or you can send us an email at howrudepodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your comments, your questions, corrections corner. I'm sure there's tons of those. If Kim Moffitt hasn't, texted us already and let us know what we screwed up.
Yeah, come on, Kim. We're waiting, Kim.
We're waiting, yeah. But yeah, make sure you follow us, and we love to hear what you guys are thinking about the podcast and any questions that you have, because we also are doing fan questions on our mini-sodes, so we'd love to hear what you guys have to ask.
Love it.
Love it. All right. Well, AB, I will see you next week.
The world is small, but the house is full.
Yay! Look at you, just showing me up, getting it on the first try.
I have it written in my notes here just in case I forgot.
Okay, see,
you're welcome.
I'm just freestyling it. Yeah, week after week. And Rhubarb Barber.
Jodie Sweetin. Bye.
I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day to the things I wish would die, like buffets. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Street Stoic Podcast is back. We are combining hip-hop lyrics and quotes from some of the greatest to ever grace a microphone.
It's a line from Lauryn Hill, and she says, "Don't be a hard rock when you really are a gem."
Along with ancient wisdom from some of the greatest philosophers of all time.
Seneca, right? And he says, "Your mind will take shape of what you frequently hold in thought, for the human spirit is colored by such impression."
Listen to Season 2 of the Street Stoic Podcast on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ready to be inspired? I am Colleen Witt, the host of Eating While Broke podcast. Step into a world where I sit down to budget meals created by self-made entrepreneurs, influencers, and celebrities. Together, we revisit the very dishes that fueled their journey from humble beginnings. Every Thursday, listen to Eating While Broke on the Black Effect Podcast Network, iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast.
The Black Effect Podcast Network is brought to you by Uber. Earn like a boss at uber.com/boss.